Linda's sweetheart died because of me, and she hated me for 10 years because of it. Even when I was dying, she never forgave me. When I got reborn on the day everything happened, I decided to let them be together and take her sweetheart's place to die instead. Luckily, I didn't die. I faked my death and started a new life, leaving Linda behind. 2 years later, Linda accidentally saw a photo of me and realized I was still alive. They say she went crazy on the spot. After 10 years of marriage, Linda finally found a stand-in for her sweetheart. He was a college student. He barely looked like Jackson, but Linda went nuts over him and spoiled him to death. The guy's family was poor, so Linda sponsored his education. When he needed an internship, Linda made him her assistant, and they were inseparable. Linda had promised me to go for a walk by the sea on my 35th birthday. It had been over a decade since we last went to the seaside, since Jackson drowned. On my birthday, I dressed my skeletal frame in fine clothes. I waited by the beach all day, but Linda never called. I sat there until nightfall, when her secretary finally told me that she couldn't make it because something came up. Remembering something, I found the college guy's social media. He posted a photo, and there was a hand in the corner. It was definitely Linda's. When she heard I was sick, she immediately dropped what she was doing and came over, cooking porridge for me herself. Only an older sister knows how to care, right? How sweet. The tumor in my brain was pressing on my nerves, and the pain was unbearable. I was almost relieved, silently smiling at the sea. Jackson, I'm almost there to pay for what I owe you. Linda came home in the early hours. She glanced at me on the couch and blandly said, "Aren't you going to sleep?" "Linda, I have something to tell you." "I know what you want to say." She took off her coat slowly. Even at 35, Linda's figure was impeccable, and she had the grace of a mature woman. No wonder she attracted a 20-year-old college student. I was indeed at the assistant's place tonight. He was feeling unwell and had no one around. I think it's tough for a young guy, so I went to visit. We'll go to the beach another day. It's not about that. She was a bit surprised. Then what is it? I was trying to figure out how to start when Linda guessed again. Birthday gift? I asked the secretary to give it to you, didn't I? Not that either. Linda's patience wore out. Eric, I'm really tired today. Just say it and don't waste time beating around the bush. I'm in the late stage of brain cancer. I pushed the diagnosis report in front of her. I had thought of 100 ways to bring it up, but in the end, I used none. Linda couldn't believe it. She kept looking at the report over and over. The room was eerily quiet. Is this true? Can a top hospital fake it? For a moment, Linda had a different emotion aside from impatience. But it was fleeting. She quickly collected herself and put the report down. It's late. Let's get some rest. Is that all you want to say? When disappointment accumulates too much, it becomes devastation. Linda, I'm dying. This might be my last birthday alive. She paused, letting me throw the pillow and cup at her without dodging or resisting. After I calmed down, she wiped the water from her face, revealing a cruel smile. Eric, do you think this is karma? I froze. Then I heard the rest. For indirectly causing Jackson's death. Linda tossed out those words and went into her room. She slammed the door, shutting out all my futile hope. But I knew Linda was right. Jackson's death was related to me. Before I was 22, Linda, Jackson, and I were inseparable, the best trio around. But if you had to say, I was the odd one out. Both their families were wealthy. They'd been exposed to elite education since they were young and had plenty of common topics. If it wasn't for Jackson considering me his best friend, I wouldn't have had a spot at all. Then, like in all melodramatic love triangles, I fell for Linda, but Linda only had eyes for Jackson. I kept my crush to myself. For Jackson's 22nd birthday, I suggested we celebrate on the sea. He had a private yacht that hadn't been used yet, so he thought it was a good idea. He canceled a high-end club reservation for a birthday party on the sea. The party lasted several days. At first, all was well. But on the third day, disaster struck. The yacht broke down, water started flooding in, and it was going to sink in about 20 minutes. There were 17 people on board, and 2 lifeboats that could carry 16 people in total. Someone had to stay behind to wait for rescue. To be fair, Jackson proposed drawing lots. Unluckily, I drew the short straw. After everyone boarded the lifeboats, Jackson suddenly snatched the lot from my hand. Eric, you go first. No, I drew the lot. Are you stupid? Jackson smiled at me. I can swim, you can't. So you go first, I can hold on longer than you. No, if you're staying, I'm staying too. Don't make trouble. Okay? Maybe by the time you get to shore, I'll have swam there myself. Jackson pushed me onto the lifeboat without another word. He turned to Linda. Take care of him. Those were his last words to us. As soon as our lifeboat left, a storm hit. The extreme weather slowed down the rescue team, and by the time they arrived, the private yacht had fully sunk. Jackson didn't make it. The rescuers found his body in the wreckage of the sunken ship. Linda had planned to confess her love to Jackson once we returned to land. She had even prepared gifts and flowers. But the man she loved was gone forever to the depths of the sea. Ever since, Linda has hated me. If it wasn't for me convincing Jackson to go out to sea, he wouldn't have died. If we hadn't switched lots, it would have been me instead. Later, Linda saw my diary and found out about my crush on her. She sneered, mocking. Like me? You're not worthy. But a week later, Linda suddenly came to me with a diamond ring, proposing in grand style. Photos went viral online. Everyone said they'd never seen a diamond this big. Also mentioned that the prince and Cinderella make a great couple. But they didn't know. In reality, a princess's gaze never rests on the night. Linda married me purely because of Jackson's last words. Sure, she took good care of me, just didn't love me. Linda never cheated. Probably for Jackson's peace in the afterlife. She struggled to keep up the marriage for a decade, until a look-alike showed up, and Linda's feelings rekindled. My illness worsened. Linda never visited me in the hospital. She was busy with work, busy with her assistant. On the hospital TV, a charity gala was being broadcasted. Linda attended in formal attire with that assistant, Ken, following her. Ken dressed up to look just like Jackson. Then I noticed the brooch on him. It was Jackson's brooch. At 20, simply because I said the brooch looked nice, Jackson took it off and gave it to me. I later learned that his sister bought it at an auction for millions. Jackson said, so what's a few million? Eric's my best friend. He's worth it. After his death, I sealed it away, unable to open the jewelry box. Now, why did Linda dare to put it on someone else? I grasped my last bit of strength and made a call. What's up? A cold voice replied, busy today, talk later. No one can replace him. I cut Linda off abruptly. Regardless of her busyness, I mustered up the energy to say, no one can replace Jackson. Linda, you're insulting him. Linda was stunned for a long time. I was too exhausted. After hanging up, I finally closed my eyes for good. On the day of my death, a storm raged, much like the day Jackson passed. Eric, do you have a crush on Ruyan? A familiar voice pulled me back into consciousness. I was reborn. 22-year-old Jackson sat in front of me, beaming. Don't deny it. We're so close you can't hide it from me. Seeing me dumbfounded, he continued, did I guess right? Don't worry. I'll give you some alone time tonight. Make the most of it. I rushed forward, embracing Jackson. His familiar scent. It's him, alive. Eric, what's wrong? Who messed with you? Tell me and I'll handle it. No, I just... Before finishing, an alarm sounded. The yacht is malfunctioning. Everyone, gather on deck. Now! Crap. Really? I'd just been reborn. Everyone nervously gathered at the bow. The yacht was tilting, the stern sinking. And now of all times, the weather turned worse. Like before, they were drawing lots to decide who waits for rescue. I took a deep breath and snatched the short straw. It's me, you don't need to draw. Except for Jackson. Everyone sighed in relief, quickly boarding the lifeboat. That's when I noticed Linda acting strange. Previously, she coordinated things, making sure everyone boarded orderly. But now, she was dazed, eyes vacant, getting pushed on board, like she'd lost her soul. Whatever. Who cares? I clutched the short straw, counting down. 3, 2, 1. Jackson lunged to snatch my straw. I predicted it, sidestepping him. What are you doing? I feigned surprise. He said, Eric, let's swap. You take this trip, I'll stay for rescue. I can swim, I can handle it. I shook my head. No, drawing means it's my fate. What nonsense. Remember, I'm a certified swimming instructor. You go, by the time you reach shore, I'll be swimming there too. Thank you, Jackson. In my past life, I never got to thank him. I finally did this time. Why suddenly thank me? We're best friends, right? Of course. Then live well. Jackson looked confused. Yet Linda, behind him, after I said these words, her pupils contracted suddenly. She seemed to come alive, eyes fixed on me. The next second, I pushed Jackson onto the lifeboat. This time, it's my turn to die. I relaxed, letting myself sink with the ship. But Linda shouted desperately over the sea. Eric, strange. In my past life, did she ever call me like that? I turned back, meeting her hopeless, devastated eyes. That wasn't 22-year-old Linda's gaze. It was 35-year-old Linda's. Linda had been reborn too. I closed my eyes calmly. What does rebirth matter? The end is fixed. Linda, I owe you nothing. My body sank deeper into the sea. In the endless darkness, a beam of light suddenly lit up my world. Time flew by. It's been 2 years since I was reborn. Walking on a British campus, head down, messaging. Jackson. Ding dong. Your buddy arrives in London tomorrow. Me. Ready to welcome you anytime. Jackson. Bringing you some spicy snacks. Me. Big bro, you're my hero. A foreign classmate asked nearby. What's making you so happy? I couldn't help but smile. Surviving a disaster. Isn't that something to be happy about? Nobody would expect I'm still alive. 2 years ago, when I sank with the yacht, a small rescue boat suddenly appeared. It cut through the fog and storm, racing towards me. I don't remember what happened next. When I woke from a coma, I was in a foreign hospital. A familiar face beside me. Handsome, distinctive, features slightly aloof. You're awake? The doctor said you're out of danger. I paused, finally recalling the person's identity. Victoria, that strict and stern sister who spent millions on a brooch for Jackson. Did you save me? Yes. Victoria gave me a quick rundown. On the day of the accident, she noticed changes in the weather at sea. She immediately sent out a lifeboat just in case. Turns out it actually saved me. I felt grateful but also a bit puzzled. Did this happen in my last life? Before I could figure it out, Victoria got up to leave. Oh, by the way, she said, I haven't told anyone about rescuing you, not even Jackson. She paused, giving me a look. I thought you might have your own plans. Apparently, according to Victoria, everyone believed I was dead. Jackson locked himself away, stopped eating and drinking, just cried all the time. Linda even hired people to recover my body. She wouldn't give up without proof. In the end, all she found was my bracelet. Linda had given it to me as a birthday gift in my sophomore year of high school. Since then, I never took it off. She held it in her hands, crying on the salvage boat. When I was discharged from the hospital, I decided to let Jackson know I was alive. He flew to the UK and held me, crying his heart out. We made a deal that he would keep my secret and act like Eric had died. Jackson is really tight-lipped. 2 years have passed, and apart from my family, only Jackson and Victoria know I'm alive. I feel like escaping death was a real rebirth. I changed my name and hairstyle. Linda used to say she liked boys with straight black hair. Since then, I hadn't changed it. But this new life is mine to live. As an engineering guy, the UK has my dream school, Imperial College London. It's ranked 10th in the world. I'm staying here, working and studying. Victoria wants to help. She said, you don't have to work so hard. I'll provide a place for you. Just focus on applying for your master's. I shook my head. Thanks, but I want to do it on my own. You've already helped a lot. She sighed softly. Over time, Victoria and I became friends. Once I asked, why are you helping me for free? Because you're Jackson's best friend. She replied smoothly. In the end, I successfully got into grad school at Imperial. Back on campus, Jackson graduated and works for his family's company now, super chill. He flies to London to see me every now and then. Funny thing, he could totally stay at some fancy hotel's penthouse. But he insists on squeezing into my tiny dorm. We chat, play games, gossip, just like we used to. To my surprise, he and Linda drifted apart instead of getting closer. When I asked about it, Jackson said, "I don't know what's up between you and Linda, but I have a rule. Anyone my bro dislikes is my lifelong enemy. My bro can do no wrong. Even if he is wrong, he's right." I laughed. Then Jackson added, "But, aren't you mistaken? Linda doesn't like me. She likes you." "No way. But she's been so obsessed since you disappeared. It's all because of you." Jackson muttered. "Since your accident, she's been saying things I don't get, like, I was wrong. Come back. I won't go to the assistant ever again. Stuff like that. I once caught her kneeling in front of your portrait, talking to herself, crying her eyes out. Following my wishes, my family and Jackson held a funeral for me. I forced a smile, changing the topic. "How long are you staying this time?" "Staying for your birthday. Then I'll leave in half a month." We crammed into my bed, gaming, chatting about gossip till we didn't know who fell asleep first. The next morning, Jackson's screams woke me up. "Eric!" "I'm sorry. Eric is my nickname, everyone's used to it, so I didn't bother correcting them." "What's up?" I asked. Linda saw our photo. Yesterday, Jackson shared a food pic in the classmates group. Accidentally included one with me. He retracted it quickly, thinking no one noticed. But someone saved it and sent it to Linda. She freaked and called him a million times. Jackson sleeps like a log and didn't hear a thing. Waking up, he found 100 messages from Linda. The last said she was on her way to the UK. "What do I do now?" Jackson wailed. "One step at a time, we'll deal with it," I said. "I get it. Hire some muscle and send her back. Right? Why not just a hitman? Could work." "Dude, I'm joking." Jokes aside, Linda really showed up. The picture was near school, so it wasn't hard for her to guess it was Imperial. I was confident. Big campus. How would she find me? But I forgot, never jinx it with a flag. Thursday, I was rushing to the lab, arms full of papers. Turned a corner and bam, face first into someone. "Sorry," a familiar voice said. "No time to run." I looked up and it was Linda. After 2 years, she looked different, more serious, heavily burdened. At that moment, I was glad I was wrapped up tight. Hat on, scarf covering below my eyes. Papers scattered. I kept my head down, picking them up quietly. Linda stood there, staring into my eyes. Did she notice something? I quickly gathered my stuff and hightailed it out of there. Thought I dodged a bullet. The next day, there was a theory class. Our group chat made by the Chinese classmates was buzzing. "Who's the girl in the last row? Never seen her. No idea, maybe just sitting in? Who would crash our boring classes? Kind of pretty." Curious, I looked back. It was Linda. She seemed to notice me too. Our eyes met for just a second and I quickly turned away. I silently prayed that she wouldn't get a good look at my face. But throughout the whole class, I could feel her intense gaze on my back. When class ended, I was the first one out of the room. I thought I could escape Linda's pursuit this way. But to my surprise, she was faster than me. She stopped me at the bottom of the stairs. "Hey, don't you want your student card?" I halted and checked my pockets. Sure enough, it was missing. I must have dropped it when I bumped into someone yesterday, and Linda found it. Her heels made a soft, yet somehow intense sound on the marble floor. "The photo on it looks great," she said. "Eric, wouldn't you agree?" There was no point in running anymore. Linda knew it was me and found the classroom for a reason. I turned around and snatched the card from her hand. "Correction. My name's not Eric. So what happened to Eric? He's dead." She looked at me in silence. The weather in England is unpredictable, and now it started to rain lightly. Linda's eyes were like the current weather, foggy. "You came back to life too, right?" she asked softly. "Yeah." "Did you give up even your name just to avoid seeing me?" "Yes, I did." Linda's eyes reddened. "Why?" "Because I hate you." "Is that reason enough?" "Yeah, that's enough. I was a jerk before and I hated myself too. But Eric, even if you hate me, Don't avoid seeing me. Okay? I glanced at her strangely. Are you sick? What's with the over-the-top affection? Say what you want as long as you're happy. Linda moved closer, trying to place my hand on her heart. When I realized I loved you, it was too late. Heaven punished me by making me live through your death twice. It tore me apart until finally, before she could finish, I pulled my hand away and slapped her. Wake up! I stopped loving you a long time ago. Linda was stunned by the slap, taking a long time to recover. I didn't hold back. A red mark slowly appeared on her face. Being so pampered and sheltered, she'd never been hit before. She touched her face, smiling in satisfaction. I'll take it as a sign that Eric is willing to touch me. Jackson was right. She was out of her mind. Does that make you feel better? If not, you can hit the other side too. She even offered her face willingly. I stepped back in disgust. Don't make me sick. Sick? Linda paused. You think I'm disgusting? Absolutely disgusting. So could you bear with it and hear me out? No, I don't want to hear it. Just then, my savior appeared. I saw a Maybach pulling up in the rain and breathed a sigh of relief. I have to go. My girlfriend's here to pick me up. Girlfriend? Linda was taken aback. Following my gaze, a woman got out of the car with a black umbrella. I eagerly stepped under her umbrella, not giving Linda another glance. Linda's face darkened. She knew this person. It was Victoria. She had business in England, so Victoria had been spending a lot of time in London lately. Before class, I sensed things might get sticky. That's why I texted Victoria to come rescue me. Victoria showed up just in time. Thanks for earlier, I told her. No problem. Has Jackson living with you been a distraction? No, he's headed to France today, I think. Victoria and I stopped by the store for a few things and then went back to the dorm. No one was around the hallway. All right, I'm going in, I waved to Victoria. But she suddenly pulled me in for a wild kiss. The motion-activated lights turned off. In darkness, I carefully kissed back. Eventually, just as I was about to suffocate, Victoria let me go. When will we tell Jackson about us? I whispered. Let's wait a bit longer. She looked a bit hurt. Am I that embarrassing? No. My words were swallowed by another long kiss. I'd been with Victoria for just over 2 weeks. Looking back, I still found it unreal. One day, she calmly asked me if I wanted to try dating her. I looked at her stunning face and for some inexplicable reason, I nodded. After cooling down, I kind of regretted it. After all, Victoria was my buddy's older sister. This might not be right, is it? Sensing my hesitation, Victoria asked then, do you still like Linda? Absolutely not. Then just try. I'm good, at least as good as anyone else. You won't lose anything. She made a good point. No need to stay single for life over some ex-girlfriend. Victoria is indeed great, gentle, and considerate. But still, something felt off when we were together. I was polite, she was too. Only in moments like these, when the lights were off, could we truly embrace. Caught in the moment, the plastic bags fell to the ground with a thud. Hey, is Eric back? Jackson's voice suddenly came, cheerfully approaching the door. He swung it open. My brain screamed alarms, and I quickly pushed Victoria away. Unprepared, she hit the wall with a dull sound. That probably hurt. I looked at her apologetically. Huh? Sis, what are you doing here? Jackson asked curiously. Ran into her. She gave me a ride to the store. I replied swiftly, what about you? Weren't you supposed to be going to France today? He shrugged. France is on strike. I canceled my flight. Victoria added, well, you two chat, I have work. I'm heading out. After the door closed, Jackson studied me. Eric, what's up with your mouth? It looks so red. I sheepishly touched it. Had some spicy food on the way. Ha! Serves you right for going off to eat alone. Sure, young master. By the way, I've noticed my sister's been acting strange lately. Oh? How so? It seems like she's seeing someone. My hand trembled, spilling the water. Got any evidence? Sure do. Check this out. She barely posted on social media for half a year, and now she's posting all the time. And it's meaningless stuff too. She's posting pics of dogs on the street, wildflowers, and saying things like, The moon is so beautiful. Clearly, she's got a crush. Detective Jackson swiped through his phone, analyzing things for me. He didn't notice the message Victoria sent me. Victoria, it hurts. Me. Did you just bump into something? Sorry, totally my fault. I was too nervous. Victoria, puppy eyes emoji. Victoria is typically pretty reserved and serious, so it's quite the contrast when she acts cute like this. Victoria, I want compensation. Me, alright, I'll make it up to you next time. Eric. Jackson paused, looking confused as he glanced at me. Who are you texting? You're grinning at your phone like a fool. Oh, just saw a cute puppy video. I tried to change the subject quickly, even throwing in something else. I ran into Linda today. It worked. He forgot all about Victoria. How was it? Did she notice you? I roughly mentioned what happened, leaving out any details about Victoria. Jackson clicked his tongue. She's really gone off the deep end. Next time, don't bother getting into it. I'm worried she might enjoy it. Jackson had a point. Linda really was losing it. That night, just as I was about to sleep, a message blew up in the dorm group chat. There's some girl kneeling outside building C. Which one of you left your admirer out in the cold? Someone shared a picture in the group. Seeing Linda in that photo almost made me faint. It was raining the whole time. She was kneeling out there, looking so worn out and pitiful. You need a key card to get into the dorm building. She couldn't get in, so she was just waiting there for me to come down. Honestly, if Linda was keeled over on the street, I wouldn't even blink. But the expat circle is small. If I didn't deal with this incident would spread around tomorrow from London to Scotland. I just wanted to study in peace and not be the protagonist in everyone's gossip. I stormed downstairs, fuming. Linda, how far are you going to take this? Linda's eyes lit up. Eric, you came to see me. I smirked. Eager to see me? Yeah. Then why didn't you come see me in the past life when I was dying? Her smile vanished instantly. I'm sorry, Eric. I know I messed up. Believe it or not, I fell for you way back then too. I was just too afraid to face it, so I acted all cold. Gross, enough with the excuses. Linda stubbornly blocked my path and continued. I felt guilty. I felt guilty about Jackson. The moment she mentioned Jackson, I stopped. Eric, before Jackson died, he asked me to take care of you. That's why I married you. But after some years, I realized I had feelings for you. Linda's voice was hoarse, like a flickering old light bulb. At that moment, I felt so unsettled. I thought I was betraying Jackson. I started distancing myself from you, tried to brainwash myself, became numb. Then I met Ken, who reminded me of Jackson. To prove my love for Jackson, I doubled down on being nice to Ken. I almost burst out laughing. Too funny. If you loved me so much, why didn't you stay on that yacht for me? I was reborn a bit later than you. As soon as I opened my eyes, I saw you pushing Jackson away. She regretted. If I were reborn sooner, I would have never left you there. I asked again, and when I got brain cancer, she went silent. After a bit, she said guilt-ridden, I thought it was a lie you made up. Seeing that I wasn't budging, Linda fell to her knees. Eric, please give me another chance. I swear I'll make it up to you. I shook my head, impatient. Linda, we can only ever be strangers. I won't love you, nor will I hate you. Hate is too strong a feeling. You don't deserve it. Linda's breath caught. She wanted to say more, but we heard a noise from the stairwell. I opened the fire door. Jackson was standing there. He seemed worried Linda might harm me, so he was hiding, ready to step in. But now his face was pale. I didn't mean to eavesdrop. I'm sorry. I reassured him it's okay, and Jackson forced a smile. Can I ask a few questions? Sure, ask away. Everything you guys said, was it true? It's true. In the past life, it was me who died. Yeah. I asked her to look after you? Yeah. And then you died of brain cancer? But instead of being there, she was with my lookalike? Yeah. Jackson was shaking all over. The next moment, he rushed at Linda, slapping her hard. How could you treat Eric like that? The slap wasn't enough. He grabbed her collar, almost out of control, every word bleeding. Why did you do that? Tell me. Using my name to hurt him, how could you? How could you? Is it with that kind of pathetic love? This is ridiculous. Linda, in my heart, you are nothing compared to my friend. Linda didn't fight back. She looked at me, still hoping for some pity. Now I finally get why Eric doesn't see you anymore. Jackson kicked her aside. Linda, you really don't deserve it. He pulled me along, heading firmly back up. That confrontation seemed to drain Jackson of strength. Back in the room, he leaned against me in silence. After a while, he carefully asked, "Did it hurt?" "What? The brain tumor, did it hurt?" Jackson suddenly started crying. "Eric, you must have had a really hard time." My tears started flowing. Honestly, I hadn't cried since the first death. Nothing seemed sad enough for tears. But for some reason, when I heard Jackson speak, I just couldn't hold it back anymore. That's how good friends are. They can see right through you, all your hurt and pain. No matter how well I pretend, I can't hide it from him. I didn't answer, and Jackson didn't push me either. He lightly patted me, offering some belated comfort. "It won't hurt anymore, Eric. It won't." The next day, Jackson took me for a health checkup. The doctor said I was healthy. I told Jackson not to worry. In my previous life, the doctor mentioned my sickness was stress-induced. Constant unhappiness made me sick. But now I'm happy and fulfilled every day, so I won't get sick again. On our way home, Jackson made a wish by the pond. I asked, "What are you doing?" "Shoo, making a wish for you," he replied. "A wish for what?" I queried. "Hoping my buddy lasts as long as this turtle, healthy and long-lived," he said. I felt a bit touched and a tad annoyed. What's going on? Ever since he learned about past life stuff, Jackson changed too. He's not just about shopping and having fun anymore. He went back home, started working seriously, and got involved with the family business. He said he wanted to take over Linda's company as payback for me. Jackson had his sister's flair. He learned fast and was decisive. Linda was overwhelmed by his tactics, and she couldn't focus on me for a while. I enjoyed some peace. Christmas came around. I made plans with Victoria. We talked about Jackson's recent antics. I said, "Aren't you going to control your brother?" "No need to, it's good practice for him," Victoria replied. I almost sprayed my drink. So, Linda's just practice in Victoria's eyes? Honestly, if Jackson wasn't dealing with her, I might have. Why? Because I don't like her. In my daydream, Victoria leans in and kisses me. Stop thinking about her. I'm not. I don't like her anymore, I replied. Good, let me feel those abs. If I don't, all your workouts are wasted. Outside, it was snowing heavily. Inside, things were warming up. It was our first night together. We didn't try to sleep until we were completely exhausted. Just as I started to doze off, I suddenly heard a fingerprint unlocking sound. Surprise. Eric. I'm here for the holiday. Jackson appeared at the door with a suitcase. I quickly dressed and left the bedroom. Why didn't you say you were coming? I asked. Wanted to surprise you. Here, Christmas gift, he replied. How'd you even get up here? Someone was coming in with a key card, so I just followed. He grinned. We exchanged gifts. I'd gotten him the new smart glasses he'd been talking about, after waiting in line overnight to snag it on launch day. Jackson put them on and couldn't contain his excitement. After tinkering for a while, he felt like resting. I'm exhausted. Just finished work. Rushed the earliest flight I could. So glad I made it for Christmas. Jackson made a beeline for the bedroom, going to catch some sleep. Hold on, I said nervously, glancing at the wardrobe. Bro, you've lost a lot of weight. Work does that. But don't worry, once I take over Linda's company, I'll give you some shares, he joked. He took off his coat and was about to hang it in the wardrobe. I quickly intercepted. Let me hang it for you. Sure. Why do you seem so nervous? He inquired playfully. Probably because your sister's hiding in the wardrobe right now. The great CEO reduced to hiding in my tiny closet. I hung Jackson's coat, and just as he was about to open the wardrobe, a sudden knock interrupted. Our attention shifted to the door. Such a late hour, who could it be? It's a student dorm, no peepholes here. I opened it, and there stood Linda holding gifts and roses. Jackson rolled his eyes. Persistent. Aren't ya? What do you want now? Linda ignored him, looking at me. Merry Christmas, Eric. This is for you. She held out a toy, gauging my reaction. It was one I used to really want, released in limited quantities every Christmas. Not expensive, but hard to grab. I knew she knew the designer, but she never gave me one. Instead, after Ken showed up, she gave one to him. You used to like it. Do you still? She asked cautiously. I don't anymore, I responded. She looked despondent. Even if you don't, keep it. Maybe you'll like it again someday. Not gonna happen. I nudged her. Take the roses too. You're not welcome here. Eric, about the girlfriend thing. I know you were just lying to me. Linda insisted. What? I chuckled. Where'd she get that idea from? Inside, Victoria could no longer hold back. She stepped out, visibly annoyed. Who are you calling fake? Linda, respect yourself and stop pestering my boyfriend. Now, not only was Linda surprised, but Jackson was bug-eyed too. 10 minutes later, both women were gone. It was just Jackson and me, staring at each other. Technically speaking, he was a bit mad, not speaking to me. Eager to apologize, if you mind me dating your sister, I'll break up right now. No romance could compare to years of friendship, really. Victoria would understand. It's not that. Jackson crossed his arms. I'm upset because we're close. Yet you didn't tell me. And my sister. I'm her only brother. For crying out loud. Her own brother. And she steals you? Unbelievable. Don't blame her, it was my idea not to tell you. Eric, didn't we agree to share if we had a crush on someone? I sighed. It's my fault. I'm afraid things won't last between your sister and me. Why? Is she treating you badly? I can totally go punch her. No. She's great, that's the problem. She's just too perfect. Victoria told me I'm her first boyfriend. Her first love. She mentioned she's serious and wants to get married. Marriage, a heavy word. I told Jackson dejectedly. You know I've been married before with Linda, and you know how that ended. Eric, are you scared? Jackson saw right through me. Yeah, I don't think I'm ready yet, and I'm not sure how to face your sister. If we break up one day, it would be awkward for you, caught in the middle. So, I figured I'd wait until I have clarity before telling you. Got it. Jackson relaxed quickly. To be honest, I've always felt my sister's been acting a bit odd recently. How so? Don't you think it was a bit too convenient how she sent over that lifeboat? Plus, she invested in a project overseas that's researching brain tumors. What? I was taken aback. A bold idea crossed my mind. Jackson and I thought the same thing. No way. Did she get reborn too? I decided to find Victoria and get the truth. I visited her place in the UK for the first time. The passcode was my birthday. It seemed like Victoria wasn't home. The study door was open, and I was immediately drawn to the wall covered with brain cancer research papers. Prevention, treatment, all there. Right in the center, there was a photo of me. It was from freshman year, a picture Jackson took of me after a 100-meter race. I was smiling, throwing up a peace sign. Underneath, there was a paper filled with little details about me. He used to love the sea, but after Jackson passed, he's scared of it. He loves certain brands of bunny toys, especially the limited Christmas ones, but never got them. He was diagnosed with cancer at 34, so keep him cheerful. Often take him for checkups. Every word was packed with deep love. Even in those darkest times of my life, someone cared for me. Victoria suddenly appeared at the doorway. I knew I couldn't keep it from you. I turned to her. So, you were reborn too? She nodded. I came back during the shipwreck and immediately sent a lifeboat. Thank goodness it made it in time. When Victoria found out it was me who was rescued, she kind of knew we were the same. Victoria, I never realized you felt that way about me. She smiled. Back then, you only had eyes for Linda. You just treated me as Jackson's sister, not even a friend. If I confessed and failed, you might have avoided Jackson too. Indeed, we hardly interacted much in that past life. After rejecting someone, I usually block them out and avoid them. When did you start liking me? She pointed at that freshman picture. Before that. So, back in high school when I visited Jackson's place, she already noticed me. I remembered her as being gentle, always asking, ice cream or fruit? Turns out her eyes were on me the whole time. I was filled with emotion, which reminded me of something. In the last life, you never got married. Yeah, because of you, Victoria admitted without hesitation. After I died, she spent her life alone. Even on her deathbed, she held a worn-out red string. It was left behind the first time I visited Jackson. My only keepsake to her. Victoria said, "If I had known you weren't happy after marrying, I would've." Would've what? I would've stolen you away. I stared into her clear eyes for a moment. Victoria, have you never blamed me? Blame you for what? For Jackson's death. You didn't break the yacht and you didn't cause the storm. Jackson had the final say about sailing. What's there to blame you for? She ruffled my hair reassuringly. Neither I nor Jackson blame you, so you shouldn't blame yourself either. Don't blame yourself. Those 5 words, finally, someone said them to me. I felt a twinge in my nose, almost making me cry. Jackson used to tell me their family was nouveau riche, but the siblings were brought up really well. Eric, I've waited for you a long, long time. Victoria planted a gentle kiss on my forehead, long enough to span a lifetime. Her initial confession suddenly emerged in my mind. Would you consider dating me? It was calm, restrained, but her love had steadily grown, like unseen waters rising over time. One day, without warning, that love rushed over me. It washed away my shattered life, piecing me back together. Eric, thank you. Thank me for what? My voice was thick with emotion. Thank you for finally noticing me, Victoria said with contentment. Time flies by. 2 years later, I finished grad school successfully. At the graduation ceremony, I spoke on behalf of the entire college as an outstanding graduate. The siblings attended too. Jackson has changed a lot. He's become a leading figure with a touch of Little Ito CEO style. The plan to acquire Linda's company will be completed this year. Several UK companies offered me positions, inviting me to stay, but I chose to return home. With everything I've learned, I want to help build my country. That's my dream. After starting work, I ran into Linda a few times, mostly for professional reasons or unavoidable reunions. Until our final meeting, she asked, "Eric, do I look different?" I gave her a glance. Didn't notice anything. She seemed a bit down and said, "I've lost weight. A lot." Oh, right, I wasn't really paying attention to what she was saying. "I'm getting married." She was stunned. Married? Yeah, Victoria proposed to me and I feel really happy. The wedding is set for later this year. They say when people feel happy, they let go of a lot. That's me right now. Even Linda doesn't bother me as much. Are you coming? I can send you an invite. She forced a smile. Sure. Back then, I didn't know. She couldn't make it. She was sick with less than 6 months left to live. My wedding with Victoria was grand. Jackson was the best man. He was happier than anyone. My good buddy became my brother-in-law, so I never have to worry about not getting along again. If he argues with my sister, well, I'll definitely side with my buddy. Brothers before anything. What sister? Never heard of her. Someone asked him, "Are you really that close with your buddy?" He laughed and said, "Blood brothers twice. What do you think?" Later, Victoria put the wedding ring on me. I told Victoria I do. Jackson was emotional in the audience. I used to think no one was good enough to be my brother-in-law. Now I just want to say, Victoria, how did you manage to do it? After the wedding, Linda sent a gift through someone. The middleman said she went on a long trip. Might never come back. I said, "Oh well, wish her a great journey." I pretended not to see her obituary. Life is like being a traveler in this world. Linda has embarked on her next journey. I'm about to start a brand new life too. But as for me, I have someone I deeply love and the best friend in the world. From now on, I won't fear any storm.